significant years. Heritage Foundation was founded, Conservative Caucus, other groups. And I believe that we've seen just an incredible explosion of additional magazines, additional newsletters, additional books, the success of Gregory Publishing, and the number of their books in the bestseller list. I was listening to Mark Levin the other night. He says he has sold 850,000 copies of his book.
That is amazing.
And he's at the top of the New York Times bestseller list almost each week. And his book has a terrific message to it. And
it's a substantive book.
And he's a terrific man. And so anyway, things have changed, and that, in my view, creates not just a bigger responsibility, but a bigger opportunity for Steve Forbes. And I have to say that I've listened to you over the years. I heard you speak, I guess it was at the meeting of the Council for National Policy. Your speech was phenomenal. I think you dropped a note, I dropped you a note about it. I've seen your speaking qualitatively and quantitatively, if those are words, improve through experience over the years. And so I wouldn't write your future off just yet. Anyway, we'll have a couple of minutes after this message. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Steve Forbes.
Hi, I'm United States Representative Thaddeus McCotter from Michigan's 11th Congressional District. As we enter a new millennium of hope and peril, with so many problems besetting our country and yet so many opportunities before us, it is oftentimes tempting to think that your voice doesn't matter. What can one person do to make a difference in the life of their community and their country? Well, the first thing you can do is to contact your legislator. You are one of the sovereign citizens of the United States. You elect your servants to work for you in Congress. Let them know what you think. Send them a letter, send them an email, call them on the phone. Your voice matters, because if you don't raise your voice in the interest of our free republic, who will?
Here's how you can become a citizen lobbyist and influence how your representatives vote. Write a letter to your congressmen and senators. Speak out on a call-in talk radio program. Write a letter to the editor of your local newspaper, and call the Conservative Caucus for more information at 703-938-9626.
Welcome back. I'm Howard Phillips. We've had as our guest Steve Forbes, editor-in-chief of Forbes Media, a man who has accomplished much in his still young life, and ran twice for the presidency, did extremely well against difficult odds. Steve, we've got a couple of minutes left, and I'd appreciate your comments on anything that is of interest to you. I'd like your comments on cap and trade, for example. We've already talked a little bit about socialized medicine, but whatever else you think we should focus on.
Well, I think we realize this is the most left-wing president we've ever had in American history, a true believer, far more than Bill Clinton or anyone else. But it also, I think, shows the fact they have to do it by stealth, that they don't want a full debate on these issues, shows that the American people in their hearts are not with them. And the fact that we're getting grassroots reaction to some of this stuff, I think, is a heartening sign. So we have some difficult times, but I think we'll finally maybe purge what started in the 30s, get it out of our system once and for all, and truly fulfill our destiny as a nation.
I certainly agree with you that Bill Clinton was less worse.
It's not high praise, but
he did much less damage than this fellow's doing. And Barack Obama is a committed leftist. He's very tricky. His great weakness is his unmitigated self-regard. God will humble him at some point.
Well, it'll be very interesting if he gets a setback, how he reacts to it. Bill Clinton knew how to roll, put aside what you thought of the man, knew how to roll with a crisis, adjust to his circumstances, pick himself up, and march on. Will this guy
That's
be
because no principal ever got in his way.
Well,
unlike Barack Obama, where principles do.
But take Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
He had a share of setbacks.
Oh, yeah.
Richard Nixon had a share of setbacks. They knew how to come back. They knew that life always throws you a curveball. And this man hasn't had many curveballs in his public life. How will you react when that happens?
It's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up. And that's one of the reasons we can admire, whatever our policy differences may be, a man such as Richard Nixon, because he had that grit that had him coming back.
Let's be bipartisan. Put again as his policies, Harry Truman went broke after World War I. Comes back, successful veteran, shattered, but picks himself up.
Ulysses Grant.
Oh, many times.
History of business failure. And he became Lincoln's general. Steve, we have to close it. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it greatly. I'm sure our viewers did. And if you're interested in learning more about the Conservative Caucus, please check out our website, www.conservativeusa.org. If you want us to send you some information, you can reach us by fax, 703-281-4108. We'll see you in the next podcast.